The renters may have just won in this real estate bubble. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And friends, renters may have been the smart ones in this bubble. This is getting insane. Are you seeing what's unfolding right now? The biggest real estate bubble ever artificially produced, by the way, artificially produced in history is having its blowback. Runaway inflation in a risen interest rate environment has now exposed all the fractures, the cracks, the severity of what we're in now. This is serious. Statistically, this is the only time in history where renters have been in better shape than buyers, of property owners, of people that have purchased, is in a bubble. That is the only time renters come out better. I mean, it's obvious, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. If you just bought in the height of a bubble and it's trending the opposite direction, any equity that you have is now upside down equity. You are underwater. You owe more on the asset than it's worth. You are carrying a negative depreciated asset along for the ride until ultimately you have to give it back, and it's going to be a significant blow to you financially and your credit and everything. You're going to have a hole to dig out of. I've dug my way out of that hole personally, which is one of the reasons I came on early in this bubble and said to people verbatim, please be careful in these times. This is an artificially created housing bubble due to government stimulus programs, and stimulus money. There is no way this one sustains itself. It will have blowback. I've said those words from the beginning, and they're pretty prophetic. Like I said, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. First of all, strike one, anytime you find yourself in a real estate bubble, they've crashed. Strike two, the way this was created artificially, through market manipulation, for lack of a better choice of words, but that's in essence what it was, dumping money into the economy and creating euphoria by making agents essential workers in a health crisis and dropping interest rates, putting severe upward pressure on an inventory lacking environment. That put that pressure, and then they kicked the can too far down the road. They let it go, and now they're trying to fix it, but it's too late. They're just throwing more inflationary fuel on the fire as we continue to be unwilling or unable to raise the cost of money to the rate of inflation. So we're stuck in this mess until that happens. Unfortunately, either way, it's either a slow motion or a fast motion crash. Those are just the realities, friends. I hope you understand that. I'm trying to give it to you and give it to you straight. Insane, this stuff that we continue to have to talk about. If you're new, subscribe right away. There's never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We have to get in front of this, my friends, and we're doing that. We're going to do that right now today. So the realities are, friends, the people that are renting right now, even though they may have gotten price gouged, as owners and landlords and management companies were starting to price gouge them, raising rents, they now have the ability to walk away from a rental. Or if you're tied to a home, you can't walk away from the home because you're going to have repercussions. You're underwater, a judgment, a default. You're now going to be negatively impacted. So historically, statistically, home ownership, 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate. It wasn't by owning their primary home, it's by owning other people's homes. So if we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to own our home and then we're tied to this home forever, really, it's just dead equity, if there's anything there at all, unless we access it and use the home as a cash register, an ATM machine, which is bad. That's always led to, statistically, not a good outcome either. So you build equity by selling the house for a profit and climbing the property ladder. The number one thing I like to do is check a property's rent range, make sure my payment's within it, stick a renter in there, let them make that payment now, and then go do it again a few times. But people don't check rent ranges because this is my house, Scott. I don't want to be a landlord. Okay, whatever. Insane. It doesn't matter. This is an insurance policy you pull for yourself just in case we find ourselves in a recession, which we've always had. we're in one again. Now it's just really a matter of how deep of a recession are we in fact going to find ourselves in. Because this is slow-moving real estate, not the crypto or stock market, it's not going to crash overnight. This one's going to play out, unfortunately, just as fast as this bubble was created in this short period of time. It's reversed course even faster. No surprise when you have an artificially created bubble virtually explode to never seen before highs. In a record period of time, we've never had a bubble go this big, this fast. It's reverse course even faster. And we're just getting started, and we see the fractures, the amount of properties going through price reductions, stuck on the market, and now fear and panic sweeping this. I've always said you're going to run into this herd mentality. The reverse FOMO will take place. It will go from the fear of missing out to fear and panic. Be greedy when others are fearful. Fearful when others are greedy. When we saw greed taking over the markets, we saw a lot of people, present company included, and I know many of you, got on the sidelines. I'm going to watch this one play out. I don't care. Maybe I'm missing out right now. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to proceed with caution. Congratulations. If you just bought, don't worry. You're going to learn some great lessons here. And you might even get some help from me personally on the channel as I navigate a lot of people on how to minimize their exposure and get out from a depreciated asset with the least amount of damage. You're going to take your lumps. It's just the realities. I went through it. I went through it in the last bubble. I bought a house about where we're at now in the downturn. I thought I bought it. I caught a falling knife. It had further to go. And I made my cardinal mistake, the thing I preach most now. I didn't check the property's rent range. Why? Because it was my dream house. And I wanted to know how much I could afford. Dumb, dumb, dumb. I will never, ever, ever do that again. I'll either pay for property all cash or such a heavy down payment that it would never be in a position where it had a negative payment on it. Where a renter I would make sure a renter went in there, and that's a cash flowing property. Houses are just boxes. If you base your self-worth on your house, you will never be rich. You have to earn this. You have to be ready to live in a shoebox temporarily to build your wealth and ride off in the sunset later. Any self-made man will tell you that. They will tell you they sacrificed. They didn't go finance the illusion of wealth. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever recorded in world history is having its blowback. It's now become a reverse course. People that were renting, priced out, actually are probably thinking they're lucky stars right now, because in a crash, those are the only demographic that seem to do better than homeowners. Renters do better in a bubble. It makes sense. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. It's just the reality. I want all of us to understand that, to know what's going on. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to protect each and every one of you, no matter where you're at. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to give it to you and give it to you straight, because that's what you, in fact, deserve. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, there's an email in the description for you as well. I have a network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our absolute honor and privilege to do so. If you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video on your screen at this time. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.